Okay, the plywood that I'm using here is a piece of 1/4-inch Luan plywood, and it's about 5 inches wide, and I'm going to make it about 3.5 inches in length here. And I'll be cutting 3 pieces this length. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I want to draw an angle on here. I'm going to come down on this side here about an inch or so, and then come down with a gradual angle here. I don't want to come down with a steep angle like 45 degrees because that will not work properly, because it will not clamp in properly when I go to tap it in. Instead, the boards being clamped will push it back away. So you need something that's going to be at a slight angle, enough to give it friction that it will stay when you tap it in. So I'll show you what that angle will be. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my workpiece this direction here, and I'm going to come down on this front side here, and I'm going to come down about 1.25 inches, and I'm going to make a mark right there. Okay, so here's what we got so far. I come down on this side here. I came up 1.25 inches on this side right here, and I made a mark right here. And then I set my protractor at that mark there and zero it, and then I came up around 15 degrees and made a mark, and then I just connected the 2 dots together to give me my 15 degrees. So this is 15 degrees, roughly 15 degrees incline that way. Now when we build it, it's going to be, when we actually use it, it's going to be like this, and here's where our fastening screws are going to be, right here. And this is going to be the actual wedging that's going to do the clamping right here. And so now I'll put all 3 of these pieces together, make sure they're flush on the sides here, and I'll go ahead and I'll cut these all together as a stack cut. I'll be back. Okay, so now all 3 of those are cut together as a stack. I can take them apart now. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll take this middle piece and I will come back on this angle side on the hypotenuse here. I'll come back square off of that about 1/2 inch and make a mark. Again, make another mark this way. Trying to keep it pretty square with the hypotenuse. And then connecting that angle together with a line here. About like that. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll come in the center of this and we'll drill an 1/8 inch hole here and down here, and then cut that an 1/8 inch slot out of here, which will be the connecting slot. Alright, so what I'll do is I will come down on this side here. I'll come down about 1/2 inch roughly, make a mark. Same thing on this other side, about 1/2 inch, make a mark. Then come in between here and make that 1/4 inch, which is the center. Same thing here, 1/4 inch, center. And that will be our 2 center holes here with the 1/8 inch bit. Okay, now even though I want my slot to be a little bit over 1/8 of an inch in width, because I'm going to use an 1/8 inch dowel, I'm using a 3/16 inch bit here though to drill the pilot holes. Okay, let's go put the slot out. Okay, so now we have the middle part, the tongue cut out with the slot, and we take the top part here now, and we just line it up with our line here, and then okay, so that's what we got so far for the bottom section here where the screws we fasten into. Now that of course leaves us with a little gap here that needs to be filled in, but that's okay because that's going to be filled in by the top here, because we're going to need to take the top piece and line that up like this. The middle then goes in here and offsets, and so when we cut this off of here to give that groove in here, we can take this piece here and put it back inside here. Now to assemble the top piece, we take the one piece here at the bottom of this and we put that on it like that. We take a middle piece here, which is this one right here, the middle piece, and we put that on top like that. And then we take this top piece and put that on there like that. And then we get everything lined up here. And then we make our mark across here. And that's what we're going to cut off. Okay, on my scroll saw I cut this piece off of here like we showed, and remember now this piece here that came off here can now go back on this inside here in this groove to finish that out again and to fill that in, and we'll glue and tack that in later. Then we take this piece here that's remainder here and we bring that up flush to the top here now like this, and then put this here part back on there like that, glue and tack everything together, and we will have the top made then for that. Okay, with all that glued and tacked together now as one piece, we now have our groove in here. And there's only one last thing to do now, and that's put the dowel through here, which would be the connecting dowel that holds everything together. And that's coming up next. I'll also glue this here in first. That's that filler piece. Because we need that filler piece to strengthen this on the back side. Okay. So now we need to get the location for the pin. It's going to go through here, and that's going to ride in this slot. And the way to do that would be to just lay this down on here like this, and then just draw the slot on top like that. And then we'll get the location of the pin inside that slot there. We'll probably put it right in the middle here. I'll have to check and see. If I put the pin someplace in this area right here, let's say, that means that it can go down as far as here and up as far as there, which is plenty of movement for that wedge. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it right here in the center. We're going to drill an 1/8 inch hole for an 1/8 inch dowel. Now while we're at it, we're also going to go ahead and drill our mounting holes for the screws too. Now a little bit of a countersink, and we'll do that on both sides of it. That way we can use it on either side. Okay, one last thing to do now. We put it together here, like this. Make sure it runs smoothly, and now we get our 1/8 inch dowel, put it in there, and we have our connecting dowel, and the thing will be ready to work. A little bit of glue in there will take care of that. But there we have it. We'll have our clamp that will go all the way up that way. And let me cut this dowel off here now. Okay, there it is. The dowel is cut off flush. Now, of course, I didn't have that perfectly lined up there. Just doing it real quick, but it still works okay. And we have the movement from here to here, all the way down to there. So I think it's going to work good. And that shows a quick way of how to make these here wedge clamps out of plywood. We need a bunch of them made up for a project. And I think that's going to work out pretty nice. Okay, so all you need to do now is just screw this down to any wood surface you want to screw to, and you've got a nice clamping, nice wedge clamp system that stays together for you. Okay, that's just a very quick demonstration of how you can make one of these here for your shop. Well, a bunch of them, of course, and use these for making jigs and things. Very quickly made out of just a 1/4 inch scrap plywood, and very efficient for any kind of wedge clamping you need to do. And I hope that helps out in showing how to make these, and have fun in the shop. Thanks for watching. Bye.